Difficult when you're Meghan Markle, because obviously you might think that you've put your eggs, as they say, in one basket, and more importantly, you've put a lot of effort and time, that sort of things, into cultivating what you believe are the perfect friendships, the sort of people that you want to be associated with. Clearly, when you think about it, Meghan decided she didn't want to be associated with her fellow cast members of Suits. Nice to turn up at the wedding to fill the pews while she decided to dump the rest of her family, but then seemingly couldn't be bothered to join the WhatsApp group or indeed keep in touch. No word yet on whether she's thrilled by the fact that, of course, the show's coming back on NBC Universal without her. That's friendship, you see, in Hollywood. But now there is a bigger problem. And, you do kind of think about the way that we now live, because years ago, these sort of issues simply wouldn't take an amok. People would have just thought, well, that's that, and moved on. But now everything is scrutinised, and this is turning into a major problem for the former cable TV actress Meghan Markle. Let me explain. Lovely to see you today, and as ever, thank you for joining me. By the way, I'm glad you enjoyed my story. Oh, sorry, we'll have a quick wave. By the way, I'm glad you enjoyed my story about JFK Jr. Fascinating stuff. There's more of that, of course, because obviously I did have further interactions and stuff. And people were sort of saying, what was it like, knowing him or whatever. At the time, when you're younger, you tend to think, don't you, that you're not as impressed by these greats. I've often wondered that, whether if anybody was lucky enough to ever chat or meet Greta Garbo or say Tallulah Bankhead and sit down, you would have thought, is this person just an old person? Should I be really interested? And I don't mean that rudely, but it's time, isn't it? Time gives you wisdom. And of course you look back and think, wow, I was so lucky to get some time with them. But at the time, you're just looking for a job and they're offering a job and you're thinking, this might not be very good, but as ever, when I get chance, more will be revealed. Back also now to your royal story of the day. Hard to believe it's less than a week ago since this. That's right, the Pat Tillman ESPN Awards. And when you think about it, the backlash that ensued on that has been horrific. And as I pointed out the other day, the only person really that saved Harry and Meghan from further scrutiny and, of course, complete ridicule as none other, sadly, than the attempted assassination of the 45th President of the United States, Donald J. Trump. Now, here's where it gets interesting, because as ever, they start to cast the net around, don't they? And see what support they've got. And whether you believe this or not, Doria, Meghan's mother, is a whip on that social media, checking out things about her daughter and Prince Harry, as ever, allegedly. And what's interesting there is, you see, they need to see exactly who's supporting them and who's not. Now, as you can imagine, there's not much support out there in this particular land. But what shocked Meghan, apparently, is this. You see, the one person that she felt she could have possibly relied on is none other than her bestie, the tennis ace Serena Williams, alongside, some might suggest, her sister Venus. Now, nothing on social media at all from Serena or Venus. And apparently, Meghan has literally been struck down by this bombshell. She didn't exactly expect a gushing overture, but apparently what she did think was that perhaps they could have said, a wonderful night, lovely to see the Duke and Duchess of Sussex there, my friend, that sort of stuff. Absolutely nothing, zero. Same thing you see happen for Meghan and Harry with regards to Ellen DeGeneres. She had her own problems, as you can imagine. But social media now is the barometer, all thanks to Doria's whippy fingers on that phone and keyboard, to see exactly who's supporting her daughter and perhaps who's now in, and more importantly, who's now out. At the moment in time, it looks like it could be a case of game over for Serena and, of course, Meghan. But of course, in the world of celebrity, if you need each other, you'll put on a rictus grin to smile for the camera, even if you can't stand each other behind the scenes. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.